Who are you without survival mode? Hey, take a breath with me for a second. Welcome back to Pursuing Me with Sharita. This space where we slow down, reflect honestly, and grow intentionally. Today we're talking about something many of us don't even realize we're still carrying. And that is survival mode. Not the dramatic kind, not the crisis kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that becomes your personality. At some point in your life, survival was necessary. You had to be strong. You had to adapt. You had to stay alert, responsible, guarded, protective. And it worked, right? It worked. You thought it was normal. It felt good. It got you through. But survival was not meant to be permanent. Here's the question I want to ask you today. Who are you when you're no longer surviving? Survival mode looks like always being quote unquote on, like on the go, never resting, feeling like you gotta keep doing and doing and doing, just always on. I was there before, that's why I could speak about it. Always anticipating what could go wrong, always being the one who handles things. It looks like the hyper independence, control disguised as responsibility, rest that feels uncomfortable. And the tricky part is when survival works for a long time, we stop questioning it. We tell ourselves, this is just who I am. I'm just built like this. I don't know how to slow down. Right? We've been here before. I used to work overwhelmingly till I didn't want to work anymore. I mean it on myself, business, and on my job. When I used to just work until I was like exhausted. And I thought that was okay because I thought I was just being productive, not realizing the rest component was needed. I used to feel like if I wasn't doing something, I wasn't being productive. So yes, I used to feel like resting made me feel uncomfortable. Let me know if resting make you feel uncomfortable or if you was in that space at some point in your life. But that's not identity, right? That's conditioning. We condition ourselves to be that way and to do those things. Because possibly us conditioning ourselves, that probably comes from things that we see, because I don't know if that was something our parents taught us or our guardians. I'm not sure if they taught us those things to just go, go, go. Maybe because it looked easy, from our parents. So we see them work, we see them provide, we see them take care of the home, we see them take care of us. And it looks so easy. So maybe, I'm not sure if that's where it comes from. Or it could come from, you seeing other people success. And you see people just going and going and going. And you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. When you're not really seeing their downtime. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was just you conditioning yourself. Survival taught you how to protect yourself, not how to receive, not how to soften, not how to trust ease. So when life starts to calm down, when the chaos get quiet, when you might feel lost. Not because something is wrong, but because survival wasn't doing the steering. Survival wasn't controlling anymore, so it felt uncomfortable. It was unfamiliar. It starts to feel unfamiliar when, opposed to getting up at 8 a.m., you're getting up at 5 a.m. Opposed to, what's another habit or shift that I'm going to say that I controlled or that I stopped, where, what's another one I could think of offhand? Reading at this time of the day versus watching something crappy on a television. So those things that I have shifted, like, again, far as I've always been an early morning person. However, I've turned into that person where I'm just laying there, possibly thinking about things versus doing things, or feeling like I always have to be thinking about doing work versus doing the inner work, right? So I was just surviving and I wasn't doing the steering. So now I have control of that steering wheel because I know being in survival mode, I had me crash every single time. Let me ask you something. If you didn't have to protect yourself anymore, what part of you would finally get to breathe? What part? Who would you be without urgency, without overthinking, without proving your worth through exhaustion, as I just spoke of? Would you rest more? Speak more honestly? Set boundaries sooner? Ask for help without feeling guilty? Survival made you strong, but growth is asking you to be safe. And safe isn't found in control. You don't have to have control of everything to feel safe. It's found in presence. Yes, you don't have, like we always, I will never forget, Michael, he said this to me maybe a multiple times. You don't have to control everything. You become overwhelmed, or you get this certain anxiety, or you get this certain feeling, or you get upset because you want to control everything. And not until I started to learn certain things, yes, it is a form of control that I was dealing with. And you don't have to have control to try to make things and to try to keep yourself safe, or situations for that matter. So guys, today, don't rush to change anything. I want you to just notice. Notice where you're still operating from protection instead of trust. Notice where you stay tense even when there's nothing wrong. That's awareness. That's the beginning of something new. And if you want a space to explore the gentle through reflection, journaling, and real conversation, that's exactly what we do inside the Inner Work Club and the 8-week Personal Growth Challenge. You don't have to exist. You don't have to go through. You don't have to keep existing in survival mode. You could exit this survival mode, and it ain't going to happen overnight. You don't have to stop living there unconsciously. Guys, as always, I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and direct. And I'll see you in the next episode. Stay blessed. Peace. And remember, just because it's familiar or it looks familiar, it does not mean that it is healthy. Peace.